Hello, my name is Krisha, and today we are going to cover the top 10 speaking cue cards. After watching this video, I'm sure that you're not going to get confused because these are the latest topic covered in the month of September to December 2025. So it's a must watch for all of you. Let's start with some basic thing that we should know. Now, imagine this that you are sitting in an IELTS speaking test. The examiner hands you a card, and suddenly your mind goes blank. You don't know what to do, you don't know what to say. So 2 minutes later, you feel like it's like 2 years, right? So it sounds very scary at times. Well, don't worry. In this video, I'll be giving you top 10 common cue cards which are ready to use answers. So you'll never freeze again. Here's the truth. See, most students think that IELTS speaking is just about big vocabulary, but it's not. It's about speaking with flow. And that is why today we are going to cover how to get band 7 plus with the sample answers that we have. And you're also going to learn a formula where we are going to learn something called as a PPF method that you definitely should learn about. That way you'll also know what to say even if the cue card is new or even if you get a cue card which you are familiar about. So also keep in mind one thing that if we talk about a template, we have something called as a PPF method. Now, let's say we have different criterias, out of which we have covered the basic ones. The first thing that you always should know about before knowing the criteria is something called as personal connection. Is always start by dividing your own experiences and emotions. Try to make it relatable, try to make it very authentic. I would not suggest you to copy any random template. Whenever you are speaking, that should be your own template. Make your own answer. Do not annotate or do not imitate anybody. Second is having a broader perspective is very important. Now, zoom out and connect your story to a very bigger picture. Show the examiner that you can actually say something irrespective of any topic which is given. And the one key is it should always look natural. And third is the future implication, which means that you have to wrap up by looking ahead. What does this mean for you or others in the future? Always have a broader perspective in life with the future implication. Now, this is a very simple trick which is very important. This framework isn't just to fill your 2 minutes, but it's about delivering a response which is clear, cohesive, impactful. So stick with me and I'll show you how exactly you can blow away the examiner and fetch your scores that you're looking for. Before that, we are going to understand few things that we are supposed to keep in mind. Number one is, dekho, if you ask me, in IELTS, we have total 4 criteria that you have to keep in mind, right? The first one we have is fluency. Then we have something called as coherence. We have something called as vocabulary and grammar. Yes, so these are 4 things that you have to keep in mind. Now, each criteria will carry at least 25%, which means you have to be good at all 4. Now, I will give you a basic tendency of a student. See, IELTS speaking के 4 marking criteria है. See, what will happen is the student will work definitely on vocabulary first because fancy words, different words. This is something जो सब लोग कर पाएंगे. But these are the 2 major challenging things which you will be coming across, which includes fluency and coherence. These 2 are very important because examiner को ये चाहिए कि आप कितना naturally बोल पा रहे हो and आप कितने ideas से connect करते हो. और इसी का मतलब है that we are going to learn a new technique which is called as a PPF method. When I say PPF method, let's understand by looking at the timeline of this. If you notice, this is our timeline. Let's say whenever they give you any topic, if you notice, there are total 3 types of timelines. One which is past tense, one which is our present, and another which is future. Now, let's say if they give you any topic, first of all, you're going to start with the past tense. Always jump for the topic when they ask you, let's say, describe an interesting book. Start by saying how you started reading books in your past, how it intrigued you, how you came into reading, how are you a bookworm or are you not? So talk a bit of past. Then you can slightly come to the present timeline, talk about what exactly is the recent situation, and then In case if you feel like, no, I don't have much ideas now, that is where you're going to use your key, which is future timeline, where you're then going to talk about what will you do, what are your thoughts, your perspective. And whenever I say follow this timeline, this PPF method is going to help you frame ideas. I've seen a lot of students, they are always struggling what to say, ma'am. I don't know how to add my ideas. Mujhe aata hai vocabulary, I know a bit of grammar as well. But when it comes to any cue card, it just feels shiver. I shiver a lot. I freeze at times. मुझे पता है मुझे क्या बोलना है, but what? How? All these things are very important. And that is why always keep in mind one thing, PPF method is going to help you a lot. How are we going to now apply is what we are going to look at the topics now, and we are going to understand accordingly. So let's dive deeper and understand. Now imagine if this is your first topic, describe an interesting traditional story. Now this is a very common topic? No. I'd say this is a very hot topic. To practice for your IELTS, the ones who are giving in September to December definitely should watch out. Now, in the examination, obviously, the PPF method is going to help you. Now, as you know, you are going to get 1 minute to prepare your answers, and you're going to speak for 2 minutes. Your audio is going to record for confidential purposes. However, one thing is constant, which is your confidence. Always try to end up writing some or the other bullets. Always have this habit. Now, imagine if they ask you, describe an interesting traditional story. They're also going to give you some bullets. So don't worry that how what will I, interpret. They will actually give you when was it, what is the story about, how did you end up liking it, how what was the gist or something like that. 3 to 4 bullets will be given in the exam. So you don't have to worry. The first topic, I'll be reading it out the cue card and then we are going to discuss few things. Okay. So as you can see, you can start with this line by saying that I'd like to talk about a traditional story that I truly find fascinating. And that is the story of goddess Durga defeating the demon Mahishasura. This story is very special to me because I first heard it during Navratri celebrations in my hometown, and it has always inspired me with its message of courage and righteousness. So let me share my thoughts on this. Now, see, at times when you're going to speak out in the examination, you're not going to read out, obviously. But the second thing is you have to pick out few words which is there, which you can at least speak out. Otherwise, if you're just normally speaking, that can be very difficult for you to get a band 7 or 8. And that is why it's very important to come across different elements, different ideas. At least once you observe, you'll be able to read out and you'll be able to speak out whenever you are going to give your examination. And then, if you notice to begin with, this is a common line which you can use in your sentence because there are a lot of students I've seen that they say a lot of so and then. This is generally not recommended. What you can do is, okay, instead, there are different connectors which you can use for your speaking. This topic reminds me of my childhood when my family and I would attend Durga Puja pandals during Navratri. This story goes that Mahishasura, a demon with immense powers, he became arrogant and started creating chaos in the world. What am I doing now is I'm creating an element or mythological stories being added here. So you can put any story that you want to add. And however, starting with that, none of the gods could defeat him. So he combined his powers to create goddess Durga. After a fierce battle, so a tough, difficult, strong battle that lasted for 9 days. Durga finally killed Mahishasura on the 10th day. And that is why we celebrate, we call the celebration as the Vijaya Dashmi or Dashera. So listening to the story made me realize the importance of courage, unity, and standing up against injustice. Beyond my personal experience, this is the point where you're trying to add your personal example, your personal connection, your broader perspective point that we were talking about. I believe this story has great cultural and moral significance. Now, it symbolizes the victory of good over evil, which is a universal theme across many traditions. Now, they are being very specific. In India, Navratri is celebrated with devotion, music, and dance, reminding people of the strength of women and the power of righteousness. For example, the tradition of Garba and Durga Puja is not only a way to celebrate culture, but also a way to keep these timeless lessons alive. This shows how mythology is not just about past, but it also is also about values that guide the society even today. If you notice, this paragraph is talking about the present times, and the previous one is where we are going to start with the past. We are talking about the childhood, how that concept introduced, and how it was again mentioned, or how it introduces into somebody's life. This is how it can portray. Then, looking ahead, this is a paragraph where we are going to talk about the future implications. You're going to move ahead with the future timeline by saying that I think stories like this of Goddess Durga will continue to inspire people across generations. With modern platforms like movies, web series, and children's books, these tales are being told in creative ways. Personally, I like to share the story with my future children because it highlights bravery and resilience, values that are essential in any era. I also feel such story will become even more important in reminding people of the need for balance, justice, and respect for women. To sum up, now this is where we are giving signals to the examiner that now I'm about to end my story. The story of Goddess Durga defeating Mahishasura is something that I deeply value because it has taught me lessons about courage, justice, and strength of women. It connects me with my culture, and I believe it will remain meaningful for years to come. Now, after reading this, you'll feel that, ma'am, do you think will I be able to complete everything? I'm not sure. But this is one key that you will understand. Not every time you're going to say everything. However, the more you read, even if you read, let's say 100%, not sure that you're going to speak that 100%, yet you can at least perceive 80% of it. You'll understand 70% of it, and then you're going to speak out the 50%. So, are you understanding how are we going to understand? How are we going to portray ourselves? Your all four criterias are important: your fluency, coherence, cohesion. Then we have grammar, which is very important. Your complex sentences are something that we look for. And lastly, as you mentioned, vocabularies. These are basic things that you have to keep in mind. One thing is you have to be very natural as much as you can. This is very important element. Another thing, if you notice, लेट्स से जब भी आप कोई भी कल्चरल या कोई भी माइथोलॉजिकल स्टोरी डिस्क्राइब करते हो, मान लो एग्जामिनर्स को इस बारे में कुछ भी नहीं पता, दैट इज द बेस्ट चांस ऑफ हाउ यू कैन पोर्ट्रे द स्टोरी. सो ये आपके आंसर को और हाईलाइट करेगा अच्छे से. यू कैन एक्चुअली टेक दिस एज अ ब्राउनी पॉइंट. दिस वुड बी अ बोनस सिचुएशन फॉर यू वेयर you can talk about the story not too long but into a short gist by just simply talking about different words like justice. Then it's basic lessons, some takeaways from the story, and eventually you can talk about some universal themes like being strong, being courageous, being dedicated, hardworking, all of these things. So are you understanding? Whenever you talk about any cue card, the PPF method is important, and another thing that comes in picture is the universal theme that you can pick out, right? So this is how you tackled the first question, but we have different cue cards. The second topic that we have is describe a sports person you admire. Now, there are a lot of guys who will be very, you know, happy about the topic. However, there are few girls who I've seen are not interested in sports at all. So at least have a person in mind that you admire when it comes to sports. Today, particularly, I'm going to talk about MS Dhoni. However, you can pick any sportsman which is there in your mind, but you are supposed to know few facts and few ideas about them. Because in the exam, you cannot say that I don't follow sports. Obviously, they already know that in case because it's all about opinions, it's all about personal choice. So, pick one person. That is one tip that I would give. Talk about a person, why he or she motivates you. Is he or she your role model? However, it's there that you have to pick that one person whenever you talk about them. Okay, so let's start with the second cue card again. They are going to give you some more bullets. Who is the person? Where have you met them? Talk about them. Describe how you feel about them. What have they done? What was the reason why you admire them? These are the bullets that they will give you. According to these bullets, you can support your ideas with respect to the bullets which are given. Let's start with the first point that we have. So, yes, you can thank them in case if you feel like. So, you can thank by saying, okay, thank you so much for the interesting topic. I would like to talk about a successful sports person that I truly admire. That is MS Dhoni, the former captain of Indian cricket. And I find him fascinating because of his calm leadership, remarkable achievements, and humble personality. So, here we are first of all talking about his qualities. And then we are going to talk about the reason why are we taking this topic and why only this person. So this topic resonates with me as I have always looked up for him for inspiration. Let me share my thoughts on this. To begin with, this topic reminds me of watching 2011 Cricket World Cup final with my family. Again, if you notice, we are using the PPF method. We are talking about the past year initially. Dhoni played the match winning innings, finished with historic six that gave India a trophy after 28 years. That moment gave me goosebumps, and this has stayed with me ever since. His calm attitude under pressure has shaped my perspective on success. It taught me that real strength lies in focus, self belief, and never giving up. Beyond my personal experience, I believe that Dhoni is admired worldwide, not just for his cricket skills, but also for his leadership qualities. So they're not only just talking about the cricket skills that he has, but also the leadership qualities. EQ, IQ, both of these are involved. And if you notice, this is a good phrase that they've used. Not only, but also. This shows how well you can frame the sentences. He led India to victories in all the major ICC tournaments, which is an extraordinary achievement. Also, keep in mind that articles are very, very important whenever you frame a sentence. More importantly, he showed how a leader can remain humble even at the peak of success. In today's world, where fame often makes people arrogant, his grounded nature sets a powerful example. For instance, despite being a global icon, he has always credited his team for victories instead of taking the spotlight himself. So we are again appreciating him for his humanity, his empathy towards people. Looking ahead, I think sports person like Dhoni will continue to inspire future generation both in sports and in life. His story shows that even someone from a small town can reach the highest level through hard work and dedication. Personally, I would like to apply his principles of calmness and perseverance in my own life, whether it's an academic career or personal challenges. I believe his legacy will encourage young athletes to dream big and stay humble no matter how much they achieve. To sum up, MS Dhoni is a sports person I deeply admire because he taught me that true success is a combination of skill, patience, and humility. His journey continues to inspire me, and I believe his influence will remain strong for many years. So, if you notice how well the topic was given, and again, you have to add on whatever you know about them. So, this was the second top most common speaking topic asked in various cities right now. Moving on to the third topic that we have is describe a talk you gave to a group of people. I would like to talk about a short talk I gave to a group of people during a school event, which I found both meaningful and nerve-wracking at the same time. So if you see meaningful and nerve-wracking, you can add on phrases, you can add idioms as much as you want. This would definitely be a game changer in your speaking test. This moment stands out for me because it pushed me out of my comfort zone and gave me a lot of confidence. So let me share my thoughts on this. You can talk about a speech in short. Describe a talk. So a talk, don't get confused which talk are they talking about. They are talking about a speech which you gave. It's like an elocution competition that you maybe participated into during your school times. Moving on, let's start with the past. As you know, the PPF method. To begin with, this topic reminds me of a talk I gave on the importance of time management during a school seminar. So here, You can talk about the school event where a topic was given. यहाँ पे इन्होंने time management दिया. You can talk about anything else. That's completely fine. I was asked by my teacher to share my experiences because I had recently done well in both academics and extracurricular activities. I remember standing on stage feeling nervous at first, but once I started speaking, I gained confidence. You can talk about your personal connection, as I said. You can actually put on your thoughts and imagine that you're actually standing there and speaking. These are the brownie points. I shared how I divided my day into smaller tasks and avoided procrastination. The audience responded with smiles and applause, which made me really proud. This experience shaped my perspective on public speaking and gave me the belief that I could inspire others with my words. Beyond my personal experience, I believe that giving talks or speeches is very important in today's world. It helps spread awareness, build confidence, and share useful ideas with others. Public speaking also develops leadership qualities because when you speak in front of people, you're not just sharing your story, but you're also motivating them to take action. For example, famous leaders and activists have changed society through powerful speeches. This shows that communication can have a big impact on individuals and communities. Looking ahead, I think the ability to talk, to speak confidently in front of others will continue to be a valuable thing for both, again, in education and professional life. Personally, I'd like to improve my public speaking skills and maybe give more talks in the future, whether at college, work, or social events. I believe every opportunity to speak is a chance to inspire, connect, and grow as a person. To sum up, the talk I gave on time management was a turning point for me because it boosted my confidence and taught me the power of communication. It's an experience I'll always value, and I hope to continue developing this skill in the future. Now, only one thing. Let's say, in case you do not have a lot of time to speak, let's say you speak till here and the time's up. That's completely fine. You at least had an idea, and even if you end up not speaking the conclusion, it's completely fine because you're not going to have a timer with you in the exam. But you can at least add on as much idea as you can. But precision is something which is important. Don't drag the topic way too much. Try to cover as many points as you can. The fourth question that we have is describe a good habit your friend has and you want to develop. Here you can pick any type of habit that you want to speak about. For example, something regarding time management, self discipline, or let's say even waking up early can be one of the habit. So let's begin with reading few lines. I'll be highlighting the major important ones so that you can get an idea. As we already know, the first rule that we have is always start with the past line, then talk about the present timeline, and going on, we are going to try and add on with the future implications that we have. So here you always will have to start with a good line, which is I would like to talk about a habit, a good habit that my friend has, which is I truly admire and would love to develop myself. And it's a habit of waking up early and maintaining a very disciplined morning routine. Now, this resonates with me because I've always struggled with time management in the mornings. So, talk about your own problem. Whenever you are going to build a connection, first try and say what exactly do you feel is difficult for you, and then you can accordingly say what can be done. So, let me share my thoughts on this. To begin with, this topic reminds me of my friend Ananya. She is someone who wakes up at 5 a.m. every day, do yoga, reads book, and starts a day. I remember how staying over at her place, how calm and productive her mornings were compared to mine. So we're going to talk about what do you think, why is her habit better and what exactly is she doing? And with that, you're going to add on your experience. After being at that place, how have you felt? This experience have shaped my perspectives because it had showed me that being an early riser doesn't give you more time, it give you more mental clarity and positivity. So add on a reason here, this would be very beneficial. And beyond my personal experience, now you're going to say why is waking up a good habit. So you're going to describe some benefits, like let's say people who tend to have their early morning are less stressed, they're more organized and more successful in managing their time. These are 3 points, but you can add on your points as well. For example, many studies show that early risers are generally more productive and they perform better at work or studies. You can add on some facts and figures. By the end, you can also add an example. So if you notice, they added an example of early birds. You can also add any example that you wish to add. Then, in a society where distractions like mobile phones and social media, it is going to be a structured morning routine which can make a big difference. Looking ahead, we are going to talk about the future implications, where we are going to talk why is it valuable for each and every person, not just ourselves. And it's very important to train ourselves to wake up early and follow a morning routine. This would help to stay focused, reduce the stress, and improve the overall lifestyle. In the long run, I believe this habit could make me healthier, more disciplined, successful in both academic as well as career. So, to sum up, if you notice, we are going to talk about any one of our friends, mention their name, and say why do we deeply admire them. It has taught me the importance of discipline and time management. So, you see, you are going to talk about a habit which is eventually helping you to build up any one of the skill. So this is one of it. Always try to talk about the problem and then find a solution and say why is that solution better for you. Moving on to the next question. Describe a time when you saw something interesting on social media. These type of topics are very interesting because you can add on anything from any platform. However, keep one thing in mind is you're not supposed to describe the details of it. It's just the basic crux that you can give and eventually cover up why do you think it is interesting and how will that help you to upskill or maybe which part of it, because it can be related to awareness, it can be regarding entertainment, or it can be educational as well. So it depends on which thing that you saw on social media is helpful or either it is beneficial for a person in their life and their journey. So here we are going to talk about that one impression. Let's see which story or which timeline do we have. Now remember one thing, whichever topic that you get in this speaking test, you always have to be a good storyteller. In case if not, always have a plot ready with your structure which can help you frame the sentences beforehand. So you have an opportunity right now to practice these questions and that is why you are going to do that. And let's see this one. I would like to talk about a time when I saw something fascinating on social media, which really caught my attention and left a lasting impression on me. This is a very beautiful line. You can end up saying this. It was a short video of a man planting thousands of trees in a barren area, which is empty area, to turn into a forest. Then to begin with, हम जब भी thoughts add करेंगे, we're not going to use so and then. We have a good word to begin with or to initiate or till I remember. These are some helpful words. I watched it on Instagram about an environmentalist in India who single-handedly planted trees over 30 years. Now, that's not necessary. If you, in case, don't remember these facts, you can just give approximation. It's not necessary to be precise. So this video showed before and after images of a land, once which is completely dry, now is full of greenery and wildlife. I found it so inspiring that I immediately shared it with my friends. Here it's all about how one person is making a difference, right? So it can bring about a massive change. This was an example of a guy that he or she saw on the social media. And how will this make sense and bring massive change? So to begin with, this topic reminds me of a video that I watched on Instagram, who single-handedly planted trees over 30 years, as said. Once was completely dry and now is full of greenery and wildlife. Why is it so inspiring? So I'm going to say that. It is very inspiring because It shows that how one person is consistent and can bring massive change, as you mentioned. To look ahead, I think social media will continue to play the role. Now, here, I think the social media will continue to play a major role in raising awareness about the global issues like climate change, education, and health. We are going to talk about different domains here, and by the end, it says that how social media can become a tool for growth, learning, development, rather than just a distraction. So, it depends on how do we use social media, is what the message of a cue card is all about. So यहाँ पे भी आप nicely you can frame structure. ये सिर्फ एक example है. However, if you notice, these paragraphs are repeated, but here you can add on your thoughts, your perspectives, because more than three paragraphs are enough. However, if we read more, it will be easy for us to frame different sentences. Moving on to the next topic, describe a time when you told your friend an important truth. So that could be a secret as well. Do not go into details as said. Talk about what was the truth, why did you said it, and also you can mention why is it important to you to be truthful to a person, which shows loyalty, humility, and all of these ideas. So adding a reason to a personal connection would definitely make sense. Why is because they are also checking how well you are with the interpersonal skills and how do you build relationships. So let's start by reading these lines. Here, I'd like to talk about I told my friend an important truth, which was not easy, but again turned out to be meaningful. It was very challenging, we can say that. So it was all about his performance in an exam, and it felt it's necessary to be honest with him. So here the chances can be that the student was not reading or listening well, and that is the reason why we are advising them to study. It's an important truth. It's like a mirror. Friends are generally mirror for us. So we can eventually be open to them because they're our comfort zone after all. To begin with, this topic reminds me of my close friend Rohan. He has just received his exam results and was feeling very overconfident, even though his preparation was not strong. One day, he told me about his study routine, and I realized he wasn't putting enough effort for future exams. So, now are you noticing here? We are talking, this cue card is all about helping a friend of how he can improve his scores by preparing well. So, but later he thanked me because honesty helped him improve. So you see, we're going to share our perspective by adding on our experiences. That sometimes true friendship is saying things which are uncomfortable but necessary and are truthful. So this is all about the cue card where we are going to talk about the personal experience. We're going to share why telling a truth is important to maintain trust in any relationships. You're going to talk about how in long run honesty will bring and build stronger bonds. This also shows truthfulness, even when difficult, has a positive impact in not only just friendship but society. And looking ahead, I will continue to value honesty. So, future implications are again to build a strong friendship or professional connections because honesty is the foundation of trust. Now, we have also heard honesty is the best policy, right? So, you can add on those proverb in case if you remember, because this is generally a turning point for both of the friends. And it strengthened our friendship and taught that honesty, even is difficult, is always a best policy. So this is how you can end up the topic. So do not go into details because you only have 1 minute. Not necessary in that one given moment you're going to, not necessary that in that one given minute you're going to remember everything. And side by, you're not supposed to even describe the whole scenario. And that is your best way to describe the thought. Moving on, the next one is describe a time when you first talked in a foreign language. Now, let me tell you, when you see a foreign language, there are a lot of students who will think, which language should I pick? Should I pick French? Should I pick German? But here, let me tell you, the basic, easy one would be the English language as well. So if you in case are confused, we also have English language which you can speak about. So let's read about this one as well. I'm going to talk about English, which is our foreign language, the very easiest one that you can tackle. I would like to talk about a time when I first spoke in a foreign language, which I found both exciting and a little nerve-wracking, which means it's very scary as well at the same time. This experience is meaningful to me because it gave me confidence to actually use the English that I have been studying for years. Let me share my thoughts on this. To begin with, this topic reminds me of my first trip to Delhi airport. Obviously, we must have heard, right? Until and unless we don't try, we would not know. So, यहाँ पे भी we are going to, let's say, suppose, say that we know English, however, we never spoke about it. And there was one time when we visited to Delhi airport where I had to speak English to a foreign traveler to ask again who asked me for directions. At first, I was very nervous because I wasn't sure if my grammar was correct, pronunciation. This is very normal tendency, right? We generally get very scared when we speak something that we don't know. However, I took a deep breath and managed to explain the way to the metro in simple English. Don't just simply say I was helping them with directions. Also, you can give a bit detail about ways to metro, to the bus stop, something like this. Add-on details would be natural. The traveler smiled, thanked me, and understood exactly what I said. And that small moment gave me enormous boost in confidence. Beyond my personal experience, I believe that speaking a foreign language is important. Now, here you're going to talk about why speaking a language will play a major role in both personal as well as professional life. So, it opened doors to various opportunities. English, in particular, is a global language of business, travel, and education. So, for example, many students who study abroad, they rely on knowing English, be it to build friendships or to adapt to new environments. So, here, if you notice, we are going to talk about importance of English here and how will this help in future as well. So I think the first attempt, they motivated me to improve further. Since that day, I have practiced more confidently in my classes and conversations. So now we're going to say that why is English important and should be a part of our learning in near future. So whereas we're going to check that here, if you notice, such as interviews and international conferences, I also feel that knowing foreign language can help me travel more easily and build meaningful conversations and connections with people around the world. The first time I spoke was a small but an impactful or powerful moment that gave me confidence. It taught me that making mistake is natural, but practice leads to improvement. So you see, you just have to cover these up. Now, if you speak out loud, you'll be able to understand. So I would give you a personal tip is to speak out loud whenever you're free. You just have to read out the lines and see whether you can read it out or not. The second thing is once you're reading it out all by yourself, second thing is do not look at the text and then read it out. Try whether you're able to elaborate or not. And then the third trial would be when you are going to keep a timer with you and then speak for the 2 minutes. And this is one of the tip where you can practice your IELTS speaking all by yourself. Moving on to the next topic is describe a book that you read that you found useful. Here, there are a lot of students who get scared that they're not bookworm, ma'am. How will I read? I would not be able to do that. Here, they're not asking you to describe the whole book. You just have to begin with a basic crux. Now, see, there are different genres, but we have one element. Some things are very common in almost every book. Pick one or two, and you just have to describe the themes about them and why is it useful? How will it help a person? So keep one thing in mind is you're not supposed to be scared at all. Number two is pick one or two book and describe few things about it, not necessarily everything. And another is today what we are going to cover is we are going to talk about one book that we have named Atomic Habits. So let's see what are we covering here. I would like to talk about a book that I found extremely useful, which is Atomic Habits. If you, in case, know the name, would be great. It's James Clear. I find this book fascinating because it provides practical strategies to improve daily life and achieving long-term goals. It resonates with me, so I related to it more as I was looking for ways to develop better habits, and increase my productivity. Generally, what would I suggest is always pick a motivational book. Why? Is because there are so many themes which are very common and not necessarily the examiner must have read it. And that is a different case. But one or two book and a basic gist is a must if you're going for your speaking test. Moving on to the next point. To begin with, this reminds me of one time when I was struggling to maintain a consistent routine. This paragraph is where you're going to talk about the challenge, what exactly happened, what made you read this book, right? So I came across Atomic Habits, which explains how small incremental changes can lead to significant results over time. So it talks about the little things, the baby steps that you take, but always use a formal language. Informal might sound really casual. So it's all about setting goals, reading, let's say, for 15 minutes or writing a short note every day. Here, you're going to also add on your experience by saying how it shaped your perspective on self improvement because these are sudden changes. However, it will be big efforts and it will be consistent. So, these are few things which you can add on. And with that, beyond the personal experience, say why this book is particularly useful for anyone. Because here you're going to talk about yourselves, but then you're going to generalize by saying it how it keeps a person very motivated and organized. Not only a normal individual, but professionals and students, they also enhance their productivity by again achieving their goals, which is just by reading this book. So learning it is also one of the clear part. And the rest two paragraphs are just about the future implication. How can it help to build connection with friends and family, positive changes in daily lives, so on and so forth. And by the end, you can talk about a basic crux of how it taught you small things like being consistent, leading to meaningful results, being persistent, hardworking, and I believe this will remain useful for years to come. So the approach is personal growth here. It talks about how willing are you and how mature are you to deal with these things and how you're able to express. As I said, storytelling is one thing, but the way you present it will really make sense. Even if you've not read, a basic gist can still help you improving this course. So never be scared of any cue card because you have to keep calm for a minute and understand the basic structure. And that is the reason why you now have the PPF method with you. The next one is describe a time when someone apologized to you. You'll say, again, in these chances, you'll say, ma'am, when was the time? I really don't remember. But that is the time you're going to quickly pick any one of the scenarios. Here, you're again not going to go into details of what exactly happened. Here, remember, you are the student and there's an examiner. We are not actually here to gossip. We are actually here to present ourselves and maintain the four criterias that we have in our mind. Let's see what story have we cooked here. And the theme goes like this. I would like to talk about a time when someone sincerely apologized to me, which I found both meaningful and thoughtful. See, there are a lot of students who, or anyone, any individual who don't apologize. But if they do, it's both meaningful and thoughtful. So try to appreciate these little things. Now, this experience resonates me because it taught me the importance of forgiveness and understanding in relationships. So, you can talk about any incident of your college days or your office time. Pick one friend's name and talk about an argument, a heated argument over any random misunderstandings. And then say that one person generally don't consider the opinion, right, due to misunderstanding. So how a person approaches the next day and apologizes, because apologizing is very important, right? So it shows different perspectives. So you're going to say that it's very important to communicate. It must have been solved if we communicated before. So that moment made me realize that it's very important, which are two things. We have honesty and humility in maintaining strong friendships. Beyond this, I believe that apologies plays a crucial role in human relationships. Is they help resolve conflicts, rebuild trust, and promote understanding. Now, coming up with this in today's present timeline, in today's fast paced world, people often get busy or miscommunicate, and a simple apology is the solution, right? It can prevent unnecessary misunderstandings. For example, in workplace or families, acknowledging mistakes and apologizing can strengthen bonds and create a positive environment. Now, here, if you notice, we are keeping on adding different ideas here by saying that how it is important to admit mistakes and always encourage others to practice forgiveness. Because whenever you forgive somebody, you'd get peace of mind, and you're also going to maintain relationships. Here, we are not going to ratify, we're not going to simply just read everything which is given in the text. You definitely can modify. आपको freedom है, आप completely इसको change कर सकते हो. You can call it, you can tweak it. So you're going to do that and make sure that you add on a good script to this. And by the end, the same thing. You're going to talk about the lesson that you have learned after someone apologizing. Because somewhere down the line, we all have apologized, right? We have always been sorry to our deeds that we have done unknowingly or unintentionally. So, here again, not going into philosophy, but sticking to the topic is very essential. And the last topic, this is very common topic which a lot of examiners can ask you. Describe an occasion when you lost your way. There are a lot of travelers who like these type of topics. Is why? Because they might have lost any venue or any place, but they end up reaching that. And how do they reach it is something which is very interesting to hear. However, we would not have a lot of time to say everything, and that is the reason how in that 2 minutes you're going to cover is what we are going to learn here. So we are going to talk about that one place, and let's see what the place is and how did we came back to the place by losing something or be learning something, right? So we are going to talk about an occasion when I lost my way, and that was both stressful and memorable. So I'm going to talk about both the things. This experience is meaningful because it taught me how to stay calm and solve problems under pressure. To begin with, this topic reminds me of a time when I was visiting Jaipur for the first time. You can pick any one place and describe about it, what exactly happened. You can talk about maybe your mobile lost a network connection, or you ended up reaching somewhere just because the battery was dead, or the person misguided you, in short, in case. So I decided to explore the city on foot and took a wrong turn near an old market. Now, some of these details can make it look really natural. Suddenly, I realized that I had no idea where I was, and my phone's battery was almost dead. I felt very anxious at first, but I approached a local shopkeeper and asked for directions. Here, we found a challenge. We mentioned the problem regarding the past timeline, but that's not the end. We are coming with a solution. What happened? He kindly guided me back to the main road. So he was a good guy, obviously. And I reached the hotel safely. This experience shaped my perspective because it taught me importance of staying calm and asking for help whenever needed. You can also talk about how this situation will make you come out of your comfort zone. Beyond my personal experience, these are the valuable life lessons that you're going to say. They encourage problem solving skills, patience, communication skills. For example, again, travelers often face similar challenges, and those who stay composed, that means those who stay calm, they tend to handle situations more effectively. It shows opportunities to learn and grow. In short, now we are going to say why is it important to travel to any places which are very unfamiliar to us. So it's very important. Let's say here, I think this experience will guide me whenever I travel to unfamiliar places. I would like to be more prepared by studying maps or having backup plans. Right? So you're going to say, we're going to take precautions here. What are we going to do? So now I understand how reassuring a simple guidance or support can be. We are being grateful to the person who helped us through our way. And losing my way to Jaipur was a small but important experience. Here it said, but that it was successful. No. cut. Here it said that it was stressful and memorable. But by the end, we are concluding by saying that it's a small but an important experience. So it taught me patience, problem solving, and it was stressful at the moment. It remained a valuable lesson for me. Here you can add on what exactly happened for a bit, because your repetition is something that we're not supposed to follow. And that is how, let me tell you, today we have covered the top 10 IELTS cue cards for these months, September, October, November, and December. These are very important. I would definitely recommend you to refer to all these types. And we have few more given in the link. So I'm expecting you to not miss on to those cue cards. You can take a screenshot whenever you want to refer these, because these are going to be very helpful to you. Remember, do not remind yourself to copy the template. I'd say rather make your own answer and make it very natural. Okay, so let's cover it up. Hope you understood the top 10 IELTS cue cards with sample answers. You can take screenshots again, you can pause and you can practice in your further topics. Here's the most important structure. See, don't memorize these answers word to word. Obviously, you could not be able to remember them. You can take them as a blueprint, obviously. Notice that always start with a clear opening sentence. Then add 2 to 3 supporting details. Finish it with a reflection or a feeling so that you can give a personal touch. So yes, thank you so much and I'll see you in the next video.